Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Heathzone with Gilbert Cheah. I'm Gilbert Cheah, I'm the editor of Heathzone Singapore, a Facebook page that deals with health and wellness issues, specifically curated from a Singapore and regional perspective. So, last week we talked about the different types of back pain and their causes, and what kind of treatments are available. This week I wanted to share with you all the things we do without thinking, which can cause back injuries and pains, and also what we need to do to lessen the possibility of back troubles. You know, back and other related musculoskeletal disorders are a huge problem in Singapore, as in many other countries. In a recent study conducted by the Singapore General Hospital, over 73% of those surveyed reported experiencing pain in their neck or back. And the Workplace Safety and Health Institute estimates that work-related musculoskeletal disorders and other ergonomic problems result in an economic loss of 3.5 billion a year to Singapore. As with any condition, the key is to prevent back pain and back injuries from happening in the first place. There are many ways that a person can injure their back, some of which are not so obvious. For example, we know that you can strain your back by lifting a heavy object the wrong way, but there are also many other ways that you can develop back pain without realizing it's happening. And the damage can be insidious, increasing over time, and not caused by one incident. So I wanted to go over some of the things that we can all do that contributes to back pain to watch out for. Number one is bad posture when standing and sitting. Now, having good posture doesn't come naturally. And the longer we have bad posture, the more the body's muscles and joints get out of their ideal position, which causes problems as we get older. The body tries to adapt to bad posture by compensating with other joints and muscles, and the result is that your whole body alignment can be thrown off. Number two, sitting on a seat that is too soft, such as a worn-out sofa or chair. This lack of a firm base puts pressure on the back and spine. I have a sofa at home that is very soft and comfortable, but I realized after sitting on it for a while that I got a tense lower back, tense shoulders, and tense neck because the cushion was not giving my body enough support. So you have to watch out for that. 3 is just having a bad ergonomic posture when working at your desk. Many people who work on a laptop or computer develop neck and shoulder and back pains that is directly related to how they sit. Don't sit hunched over the keyboard as it can lead to serious back and neck issues. Raise your computer or monitor to the correct eye level so you don't need to crane your neck out, as this will lead to strain and pain. When you think of how many hours of the day we spend sitting, you can see how bad posture or a lack of proper support can lead to back problems, running from the neck all the way down. And whether you're in a car or a bus or train or at work at home, you have to make sure you sit properly. When you're sitting for long periods, make sure your lower back is supported along its curve, such as by a lumbar cushion or even a rolled up towel, or pull the chair back so it's making contact with your body. This is something that many people are not thinking about. And often when I walk around, I see people sitting without any back support. The chair back, for example, is pulled too far back, and that's really bad. You need to have the back support. Number 4, sleeping on a mattress that is too soft or that has been indented from your body shape. Again, having the right amount of back support in your mattress is so important. Now, mattresses last an average of 8 to 10 years, so if yours is older, you have to watch out for problems. The inner springs may be guaranteed for life, but the padding on top will inevitably get sunken in and flattened over the years. Remember, you're putting at least 60 kgs on top of it every night, and more if there are 2 of you. Number 5. Sitting or standing for long periods. This will also put a strain on the back and spine and cause back aches. If you need to stand for prolonged periods, make sure you have a small footstool where you can raise one of your legs and take some of the weight off your back and alternate your legs on the stool. Make sure to try and take frequent mini breaks where you can walk around, bend over to stretch your back and sit. It will also help if you have good, comfortable shoes that have got arch supports. Number 6 unexpected problem that can cause back pain is sitting on a thick wallet or with a phone in your back pocket. This is especially common among men who keep their wallets in their rear pocket of their pants. This will cause one side of your hip to be slanted and place uneven pressure on the back, leading to strain and pain. And over time, this practice can even start to change the structural alignment of your pelvis and spine as the tendons and ligaments adapt to this abnormal position. It can also lead to your spine curving to one side, a condition known as scoliosis. Aside from avoiding these practices, you also can help prevent back pain from developing in the first place. And here are 5 important things that you need to do to help prevent back pain. Number 1, exercise. Exercise is so important as it both strengthens and loosens the back muscles. And these two help tremendously in protecting against developing back pain and also in relieving the pain that you might have. You can increase the strength and endurance of your back muscles by doing weight training and other strengthening and stretching exercises, such as yoga or Pilates. No impact exercises such as bicycling and swimming are also good at strengthening the back muscles and loosening them, which will also help prevent injuries. Number 2, strengthen your abdominal muscles. This is something that many people overlook, but it's so important. If you think about it, your entire torso and your head is being held up at the back by your spine and back muscles, and in the front by your abdominal muscles. If your ab muscles are weak, what happens? This puts even more strain on your back. So it's so important to strengthen your ab muscles. People with weak abdominal muscles will tend to slouch, and this further strains the back and the neck. Now, when you're doing ab exercises, and good if you're doing ab exercises, avoid sit-ups and do crunches instead. You may think that sit-ups are working your abs, but in actuality, most people tend to use the muscles in the hips when they're doing sit-ups. And sit-ups may also put a lot of pressure on the disc in your spine, so you should not do this exercise. Do crunches or partial crunches instead, and make sure your feet, tailbone, and lower back remain in contact with the floor at all times. Number 3, stretch your hamstrings. This is another part of the body that is a surprisingly common contributor to lower back pain. Now, the hamstrings are the muscles along the back of your thighs and are linked to the buttocks. Tightness in the hamstring muscles places even more stress on the lower back and often aggravates or even causes some of the problems that lead to sciatica and or back pain. Number 4, maintaining a healthy weight. Being overweight strains back muscles, and if you have excess weight around your stomach, this weight pulls your pelvis forward and strains your lower back and spine, creating lower back pain. Most overweight people actually have lower back pain, and people with a body mass index or BMI greater than 25 are more likely to develop arthritis than those with a lower BMI. It's also important to realize that fat cells also trigger inflammation in the body. And inflammation is very bad. It leads to more pain. Number 5, this may surprise you, quit smoking. Smoking actually increases your risk of low back pain. The risk increases with the number of cigarettes smoked per day, so quitting should help reduce this risk. Now, we've covered that section of it. Let's talk now about when you do have some pain, should you see a physiotherapist or a chiropractor? First of all, it's important if you've got back pain, do see your doctor first. If your doctor gives you painkillers, great. But if you don't want to just rely on painkillers and you want to do something more, you might consider a physiotherapist or a chiropractor. What's the difference? And which one should you be seeing? Okay, if you have back pain that lasts longer than 3 weeks and your doctor has ruled out any serious injury, you could consider going to a physiotherapist or chiropractor. And what's the difference between this and which is the best? In Singapore, of these occupations, only physiotherapists are licensed by the Ministry of Health. Chiropractors are not licensed and are therefore considered as alternative therapies. But there are many similarities between the two, and they are all recognized and respected for helping correct physiological problems and pain that's related to muscular, spinal, and joint issues. Now, physiotherapists specialize in movement disorders of the body. They examine how your muscular, skeletal, and nervous systems interact with each other to diagnose what's causing you pain or restrictions in your movement. And they use physical techniques such as stretching, massage, weights, and movements to relax and release tight ligaments and muscles to help you move and function without pain. In addition, they look at how your lifestyle, activities, and habits may be affecting your body issues and will propose changes to improve any negative effects. And they will also formulate an individualized exercise program for you to follow in order to maintain and improve on your recovery. Chiropractors focus more on body alignment problems and will manually adjust your misaligned or stuck joints and bones to get them into the right positions. They believe by getting your body alignment back in the right positions, you will experience relief from pain and tension. You've probably seen videos of chiropractors at work when they very quickly click and adjust joints into place with their hands. This is called chiropractic manipulation, and it's a fast manual technique that snaps and cracks joints of your spine and limbs into position, and its aim is to restore normal body movement. The main difference between the two is that a chiropractor traditionally uses manipulation of the bones and joints of the spine and limbs, whereas a physiotherapist will often use mobilization techniques and rehabilitation exercises. A mobilization technique is a manual therapeutic to encourage easier movement in tissues and joints that have become stuck or stiffened. For example, when a physiotherapist uses massage to break down scar tissue and loosen tightness on a strained muscle or pulled ligament, that's an example of a mobilization technique. So to summarize, if you feel that your back or joints are locked, rigid, and sore, you could consider a chiropractor. If your back issues are not just involving the joints, but also the soft tissues such as the muscles and ligaments, you could go to a physiotherapist. There's often a lot of overlap between the disciplines, and a good practitioner of either can help you get better. Different therapists will approach things from a different perspective, obviously, but they all have the same aim to decrease your pain and fix an injury using a drug-free and non-invasive approach to improve physical health and well-being. The most important thing is to find a therapist who is looking to fix the cause and not just treat the symptoms. Back injuries affect millions of people and can be debilitating. But the good news is that we can all take measures to prevent most types of back pain. And even if you do hurt your back, there are effective treatments that can help you heal and greatly lessen the pain. Surgery is rarely needed, but prevention is always better than any therapy. So please do take care of your back to prevent any injuries in the first place. So that's it for this week of Health Zone with Gilbert Cheah. I hope those of you who have bad backs or strained backs or bad necks or pain found this helpful. Do write, comment, and share this video and podcast with your friends and family. And join us for another episode next week when we'll cover another important health topic at Health Zone with Gilbert Cheah. Thanks very much for joining us this week.